And in this corner, nerds.
And I'm going to talk about me, myself, and my problems here for a little while.
The Rule 34 questions were last week.
That's not a puzzle, it's pushing blocks.
I will accept confidently sounded episode numbers and issue numbers as actual evidence.
But I want to hear about your other shitty characters.
Of course, invest in a robotic Flavor Flav.
This is the Debate This podcast.
Welcome to the Debate This podcast, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this podcast, we take time out of our busy adult lives to argue over things of great importance, like comics, video games, and which Mario power-up is the best Mario power-up. Spoiler, it's the hammer suit from Super Mario Bros. 3. Don't at me, you're wrong. I'm Todd Thomas, and today I'll be moderating a long contested debate of great importance, the Koopa Legacy. Today on Debate This, we'll be discussing which Koopaling, which for all intents and purposes includes Bowser Jr., deserves to take over the mantle of King Koopa when Bowser decides to retire his Lava Fort Moonbase, or affordable gated community, or wherever it is that he retires to. Presenting their cases for a Koopa offspring of their choice today are my good friends, Andrew, Bring in the Dancing Lobsters Henderson, Matt, Silver Snakes Cole, and Kyle, Mike O'Malley Harper. Now, before we get started, we should preface all this by saying that there isn't a ton of story canon over these guys, so per usual, this debate is going to be 25% fact and 75% argumentative bullshit. That said, I'll turn it over to them one at a time to let them introduce the Koopa they've hitched their cart to in hopes to take on the Koopa dynasty. Gentlemen?
Hey guys, this is Andrew. I'm going to represent Roy Koopa, and before I want to do that, I want to say just real quick, this episode of Debate This is brought to you by the Super Mario Wiki, because holy shit, there is a repository of information on the Super Mario Wiki. Anyone out there listening, go on the Super Mario Wiki right now. It is bonkers.
Whoever edited this wiki is both a hero and I'm worried about them. Let us know if you need help.
There's a fine line between hero and villain, and this man is definitely close to crossing it. Cool. All right, so let's talk about Roy Koopa. I love Roy Koopa. He's like basically the glam rocker of the Koopalings. He's got 6 shades. He's got a hot pink purple shell. It kind of goes back and forth. I feel like he could like bust out a sweet guitar solo at any point. I feel like when you're talking about the Koopa throne, and I don't think we've ever established whether or not this is an absolute monarchy or maybe just like an elected official. I feel like the heir of the Koopa throne needs somebody with a lot of pizzazz and a lot of chutzpah, the attitude to back it up. Roy Koopa is not only the coolest, but the most intense of the Koopalings, and that's something that you need. The throne needs someone who can pump out a crowd and lead an army to their undeniable doom. He's the perfect combo of brash ego and absolute ignorance.
All right, well, that was certainly something. Not gonna say it was a good thing, but it was something. Matt, let's hear what you have for us.
All right, let's talk Bowser Jr. here, friends. Let's talk about heirs to the throne of King Bowser. You know who gets to be the heir to the throne of a king? Typically the prince, his son, the bloodline, Bowser Jr. Not baby Bowser, because that shit got decanonized and retconned back in 2007 with Super Mario Sunshine, and now we have Bowser Jr., who is this kick-ass, angry little turtle who is actually related to Bowser and very much deserves to get his throne, as opposed to your 8-bit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle colorful knockoffs of Roy and Wendy. You know who's cool? Bowser Jr. You know who has a dope-ass ascot? Bowser Jr. You know who has his own clown car? Bowser Jr. You know who's gonna be the heir to Bowser's throne? Bowser motherfucking Jr. That's who. I rest my case.
All right, ascot and clown car. Strong opening statements by Matt Silver Snakes Cole. What you got for us, Mike O'Malley?
I got 2 words for you, Todd. Girl power. We've tried having a man in charge of Koopa Kingdom. Isn't it time we had a woman in charge? Bowser's wasted a lot of times trying to kidnap princesses, and I think having a leader who wouldn't be distracted by such things would be a refreshing change of pace for our kingdom. She knows how to accessorize. She's got that sweet ass bow and those sonic ring bracelets going on. Roy's not the only one rocking the pink shell. Wendy did it first and did it best, and honestly, it's her turn, guys.
Just gonna let that hang out there for a second. So for all intents and purposes today, I am operating something like the executor to the Bowser estate. Should Bowser pass on, I'm deciding for him who it goes on to. And so I want to start this out hitting one of the things that you all kind of touched on. I need to know what makes your character unique. What makes him stand out? Bowser's thing, big and spiky, breathes fire, not that special at the end of the day. We need someone to take on the throne who will bring something to it. So tell me, what makes your Koopaling or child or whatever we want to call it, what makes them special? Why would they be good at this?
Yeah, I'll start. So let's go back to talk about Roy. So actually, and this is, if we're talking canon, oh boy, howdy, let's talk some canon. Roy is actually the oldest and obviously the strongest of all the Koopas, which, if we can establish that we're looking at a dynasty completely ruled based on power, based on physical strength, there is no substitute for Roy Koopa. All of the boss fights involve him pounding the ground. He does that weird video gamey thing where he makes tremors. So if you're like standing on the ground, you get the tremor, but if you jump, you're not affected by the tremor. But more importantly, if y'all have seen the latest, like the newer games, he's always like hoistering like a fucking bullet bill cannon on his shoulder, like a bazooka. Dude is jacked. But that's what I'm talking about. The showmanship and the utter pizzazz that this group really needs. The Koopa Empire has seen a lot of defeat, and I mean a lot of defeat. That's going to be taxing to the army. Anyone that's left in Mario's wake, they're going to have a low morale. Probably not likely to continue fighting the good fight. They need that enigmatic leader to keep them going, to get on stage and crank out a couple awesome guitar solos. Roy Koopa is the Axl Rose of Bowser's lieutenants. All style, all zero substance. He embodies the rogue nature of the rebellious Koopa army with his take no prisoners mentality. So let's talk about the Super Mario Wiki again. I found
in the footnotes of this podcast there will be so many references.
Oh, there's so many references. I've got 3 pages of AMA citations. Listen, there are so many quotes in this bad boy. I just pulled a couple of the best ones. So this is from the Super Mario comic. This is Nintendo official Super Mario comic, and I quote: "As long as you're smaller than he is." He used to be called Bully Koopa. That's how awesome he is. He used to be called Bully Koopa. Bully.
All bullies are awesome.
Roy,
continue.
Roy will push you around. His favorite sport is stealing lunches from second graders in wheelchairs. It was written by Nintendo.
I feel a lot better about some of the things I might have said last week.
Yeah. Can
we just edit in radio silence there so everyone can sit with that statement said?
Nintendo wrote that as a game for kids. There's another line in one of the Mario and Luigi games. He says, "Nah, books are dumb. Into the trash it goes." He's just fucking awesome. And his name is based on Roy Orbison, which is like really cool. Doesn't really fit the character, but I like Roy Orbison, so. You
don't think Roy Orbison stole lunch from second grade nerds?
Probably not.
Well, I can't take back anything that Andrew just said, but I'm really hoping that Matt can give me some sort of hope for the future of the Bowser or the Koopa Kingdom, because right now all I'm imagining is an army of bullies pushing kids that are disadvantaged out of the way. So please,
L's to the yeah.
Matt, tell me what Bowser Jr. would bring to the throne.
Listen, he zigs, he zags, he's powerful like his dad. You better not underestimate Bowser Jr. And that's a quote from Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Thank you, Mario Wiki. Bowser Jr. stands out for a lot of reasons. My personal favorite reason that Bowser Jr. stands out is because Bowser Jr. can become Shadow Mario. And that's pretty freaking cool. You know, if we're talking about what sort of things a leader should have, I think that a leader should be able to embody the people that they are leading over. And we all know the Koopa Kingdom has reign over Mario. Bowser is just not very good at it. But Bowser Jr. kicked Mario's ass as Mario. He got all dressed up as Shadow Mario and painted a bunch of shit and made Mario look really bad, and now everybody hated him there for a little while. Bowser Jr. is a powerful guy. He's got a lot of influence among the people, obviously. Like, look at the Isle of Delfino. They all demonized Mario for something he didn't even do, all because of Bowser Jr. He's incredibly unique. He plays a bunch more sports than the other Koopas. He's played tennis, he's played golf, he's played basketball, he's been in Mario Kart, he's been in Super Smash Brothers. Bowser Jr. is everywhere. He's a well-rounded type of person, not only because he's very round, unlike the other Koopas who are weird and pointy and 8-bit. Bowser Jr. has prevailed and come out of the weird 8-bit generation and is still relevant right now, and he's not Baby Bowser, which is an important distinction because Baby Bowser was gross and ugly and his ascot was not as dope-ass as Bowser Jr.'s was. Bowser Jr. has a dope-ass ascot, and that should put you in the lead. I rest my case.
So what I'm hearing is for Roy Koopa, he's a bully, picks on the nerds. For Bowser Jr., he's kind of like the artsy guy who wears an ascot. So we've got kind of two ends of the spectrum. Tell me, Kyle, where does Wendy fit into this equation?
So what Wendy is going to bring to the Koopa Kingdom is smart leadership. Let me pull up a quote from Wendy Koopa from Super Mario Bros. 3. She has said, "This is my first time I've met up with Mario, and I'm studying his moves very carefully. She watches and learns." Roy's a bully. Bowser's a bully. Isn't working out for Koopa Kingdom. Bowser Jr., same thing as Bowser. He wants to kidnap Princess Peach. Sure, it's so he can have a mom instead of a bride, but still leading us down this weird kidnapping the princess mission plan. Not a great direction for a kingdom. Wendy Koopa is gonna not try and kidnap princesses. She's gonna do it's gonna be a whole new era for Koopa Kingdom. She's gonna study moves and learn what's going on. And I think that's what we need right now. Koopa Kingdom's been trying to kidnap princesses for 30 years and has not succeeded. Maybe it's time we give up the ship, boys.
So that's an interesting point. So talking about ships and things that haven't worked for a long time. So, we are entering into a new era. One of you three will be the lifeblood. So let's get rid of what's old. So lava fortresses haven't worked. Fortresses in general have not worked for the Koopa Kingdom. Tell me what your castle or fortress will look like under your child of Bowser. What new fun thing are you going to bring to the castle fortress situation that will make that effective in this new, new dynasty? So let's what do you got for us, Roy?
So you're absolutely right. What we've been doing hasn't been working. It's time for change. I say we lean into it and we double down. So I'm going to cite, so Roy is the ruler of my favorite level in SMB3, which is Skyworld. So when you go through Skyworld, you do the first half, which is on the ground, then you go through the fortress, and it's this giant spiral fortress that gets you up to the clouds. It's like basically Mushroom Kingdom's Tower of Babylon. Roy has already built a structure high enough to touch the gods. I say we lean into it. We go further, baby. We go all in. So I want to mash this one together with the castle from Mario World, which is basically this is the one in the Forest of Illusion, which is also pretty awesome level. That whole castle is basically made of lava. The floor is literally lava. There are no floors. We mash those two concepts together. We have lava floor, tower to the sky. Wait, I'm not done.
So a volcano.
So hold on. All right. So now the next question is, well, how do we get around? We just have an empty tower with lava? No. So here's the interesting thing about all the castles. I've dove deep into the Mario wiki. Roy has mastered anti-gravity technology when it comes to industrial applications. All of his castles have like some floating conveyor belt systems. The one in Mario World has a weird like block snake puzzle, but we'll hand wave that. I think we utilize, obviously, since he's mastered anti-grav, we have a series of conveyor belts and other anti-gravity platforms that will allow other people to get around. But we don't let Mario in. And we build this tower to the stars, so high that it'll block out the sun so that no one will ever question Roy's indomitable reign.
All right, so we've got Sky, Fortress, and Lava. Bold to go with what hasn't worked, but I like what you're doing by taking two bad ideas and mashing them together and hope that they make one good idea. Let's hear what Bowser Jr. has envisioned for the future of the Koopa Dynasty headquarters.
I would like to answer your question with another quote.
Good.
This is my magic brush. When I draw with this, all my wishes come true. Bowser Jr. 2007. And that, Todd, is where we are now. All of your wishes can come true with Bowser Jr. Whatever kind of castle you want, whatever we think is going to work, we have a magic brush with Bowser Jr. We can draw whatever we want. We want spinning pinwheels of death, we get spinning pinwheels of death. We want lava floors, we get lava floors. Or if we want dragons, we can get dragons. Anything you can imagine, Bowser Jr. can draw with his magic brush. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's probably going to be some clown paintings around, which at the end of the day are pretty horrifying anyway, so I think that might work as a strong defense. There's some general clowny motif, being that there's a clown car and a clown face on Bowser Jr.'s dope-ass ascot, but here we are. We can have whatever we want. We have a magic brush. So I'm thinking large castle. I'm thinking probably somewhere in an island, like the Isle of Delfino. Let's take our ruling off the mainland. Let's put ourselves somewhere safe. Let's build a large castle. We'll paint it fun colors, just like the fun colors of Super Mario Sunshine. And we're just going to put all the crazy shit we can come up with. It's going to be like a goddamn Mario Maker level in there. Because you know what? Bowser Jr. was in Mario Maker 2. And that's my favorite Mario game that's not Super Mario Odyssey. And that shit's important. So here we are. Whatever you want, we can have it. We have a magic brush.
So we've doubled down on the bad ideas. We've said, fuck it, whatever we want, we'll do it live. What is Wendy's view, Kyle? What does Wendy view as the ideal fortress situation?
Todd, Wendy's rule would be one of diplomacy, fact gathering, facts, espionage. We're gonna end the reign of brute force over Koopa Kingdom. But if I had to pick an aesthetic for Wendy's fortress, she lorded over the water world in Super Mario Bros. 3, and I know if there's anything gamers hate, it's water levels. So we're gonna fill her castle with water. We're gonna flush Mario out, so to speak, and just really dive deep. I'm talking deep pools of water, lots of swimming, lots of awful, terrible controls that Mario can't navigate, and we're gonna wash it out. Water Kingdom.
So those are three very different views. None of them particularly good, if we're being honest right now. But they are three different.
That's one man's opinion.
Listen, my idea is limited only by your imagination, and now you're just saying your imagination isn't very good.
I got a shitty, broken imagination. So we've talked about aesthetics of the view of the outside. So let's talk more about the internal workings. So it's not just fortresses and lava and water worlds and fun time painting extravaganza here in Koopa Kingdom. We've got some serious issues going on. And so my question for you three would be, we're talking top to bottom here. What structural changes are you going to bring to the Koopa Corporation that would make it most effective in its Mushroom Kingdom domination? That's been, plan A. That's been since day one, and it's not worked. So what structural change, what different approach are you going to bring to it? Roy Koopa, what you got?
All right, let's do this. So when I think of, you've got one person sitting atop a physical throne. They've got to have dominion over this gigantic army reaching, miles and miles and miles across many lands. Who better to emulate than Sauron? I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'd like to pitch for you. We make this tower, right? And we go total Eye of Sauron right here. We have Roy sitting atop of his throne pointing to the stars, and he's got his bazooka in tow, and he's just blasting the land with bullet bills. Just a shower. A shower of missiles going out.
My God.
Blighted land. This is real, if you've ever played Final Fantasy VI, this is like fucking Kefka World of Ruin shit.
That's great because everyone knows Sauron won at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Well, this is one thing that worked out really well was that plan.
I mean, you don't create the one thing that could bring your untimely end. Duh.
That's fair.
Yeah. My original inspiration was Kefka, but I knew you guys wouldn't get that reference. So eventually, people will stop going outside, and they'll have to hide inside, and then probably later underground. But this will help to keep the power. This will not, this will stop people from thinking that they could usurp the throne. This will give real praise and incite all of the troops to keep the flow. And every once in a while, Roy will whip out a sweet guitar solo just to reignite the flames a little bit.
Is Roy taking notes from Kim Jong-un?
This is so. I was when I asked for structural changes, I was looking for a better workflow or a supervisory change. Yeah. But a tower that fires rockets onto the populace is also potentially very effective. So
I mean, fear works.
That's one person's take on this question. Matt, what structural changes would Bowser Jr. bring to the Koopa Corporation?
Well, all right. So let's be honest here. Bowser Jr., obviously Bowser's son. He's seen the inner workings better than any other these other Koopaling peons. But if there's one thing that is true, it's that Bowser often treats Bowser Jr. like another minion and like another part of the workforce. But Bowser Jr. has seen that, and he knows how it feels to be treated as a minion. So he's not going to continue to send his random Koopalings out to their demise. He's not just going to send people out to get bopped on the head by the vicious Mario. He's going to work a little better and be a little stronger and work more with his technology and value the lives of his employees. So obviously he's got the clown car. The clown car's got all sorts of modifications. It can play tennis, it can play baseball, it can have wheels, it can fly, it can do everything. Obviously Bowser Jr. is a gifted inventor. So I think we're going to see the Koopa Corporation take more of a Dr. Robotnik turn and less of a, mindless minion sent out to be destroyed by an evil plumber. We're going to see a lot less death from the Koopa Corporation. A lot less floating up and then floating back down after 3 hits to the top of the noggin. We're going to see some serious investment in life, which I think probably means full health coverage, if I had to guess. Probably better benefits. And I think that will lead to higher employment, and maybe we won't just have to rule over the Koopa Kingdom. I think people will fall right in line when we offer them everything they ever want, just like communism works.
So our 2 takes, just for those keeping score at home. tower that launches rockets into the populace to scare them, and a better healthcare plan. So two different, but dare I say similar approaches, maybe.
How's Bowser Jr. gonna pay for this healthcare plan, Matt?
Yeah.
Wait, before,
Where's that money
before
gonna
you
come
answer
from?
that question, I want to say no one questioned where Roy Koopa is getting the endless onslaught of rockets. This has been an analogy for the United States. Thank you. So, moving on to lock this in, Wendy Koopa, Kyle, what structural changes does Wendy envision for the Koopa Corporation going into this new approach on life?
Wendy Koopa is going to beat Mushroom Kingdom by leaving Mushroom Kingdom alone and focusing on Koopa Kingdom. Wendy Koopa wants to build Koopa Kingdom up, and really just make Koopa Kingdom the place that Mushroom Kingdom wants to be. I said it before, we're gonna stop trying to kidnap princesses. That doesn't help us in any way. Koopa Kingdom's greatest resource is its people. There's a seemingly endless amount of Goombas and Koopas and Dry Bones, and they all have very great talents, and I want to put those talents to work. I'm sorry, Wendy wants to put those talents to work in Koopa Kingdom. And we're going to leave Mushroom Kingdom alone until we've built ourselves up enough that we'll crush Mushroom Kingdom by them wanting to join us. We're going to be so great, Mushroom Kingdom will be banging on our door for our help. That's what Wendy's going to do.
So what I'm getting this kind of Leslie Knope vibe from Wendy Koopa, and I dig it. So I've got one more question before I want you to really just shit on each other, because my God, there's space for shitting. So my final question for you. Let me set the stage. It is 2018. Koopa Troopas are out. We're done with them. So their strategy of walk left and then plunge to their death, or maybe turn around and then slowly walk right, it's not doing it anymore. I need from you your suggestion of who is the new frontline warrior. So who is the new face of the front of the Koopa army? So we've got our Goombas, they're not going anywhere, but Koopa Troopas, they're gone. It's 2018, they're so 2000 and late. We're done with the Koopa Troopas. Who is your Bowser Troopa that you're going to promote to the front line? Who's your new face of the Bowser, of the Koopa, I guess, empire?
I would say, to answer that question, Todd, we'd have to take a step back. I think the question is less who, but more what. And that what is fear. Here's what I'm saying. We've already created a war economy, right? So
Yes.
we've created a system where the citizens are docile because they're just creating bullets all day. We feed those bullets back into the environment, into the atmosphere, pumping more fear into the war economy. We probably will have a little bit of a propaganda campaign, nothing too crazy, probably more like support the war effort. I think we really just doubled down on creating the war economy, because that's really where this new world order will shine.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So after that question, I'm afraid to ask what happens next. So let's turn it over to Matt. So in Bowser Jr.'s world, when he's talking about this will be the face of the Koopa Empire, along with the Goombas. We're not getting rid of Goombas. We like them. But who is replacing the Koopa Troopas as the face of the Empire on like the surface level?
We're gonna go with my boy Stu. Trampolin Stu from Super Mario Sunshine. You can look it up. You can look it up right now. Trampolin Stu is an actual enemy.
Oh my fuck, what is he?
From Super Mario Sunshine. You just go look it up. You look it up right now, and you tell me that Trampolin Stew isn't the scariest
Oh, hell yeah.
shit you've ever seen.
Oh, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Not only is he terrifying and super effective, he also shits out little stews known as stompin' stews. So we're going to get trampolin stews and stompin' stews all over the place. And they're going to take care of everything because they're huge and they're mean and they shoot paint all over the place. And they're from home of Baby Bowser, the Isle of Delfino. And they also have a weird little eye on top of their head. And I think it's kind of freaky and I like them.
That's horrifying. He looks like a Goomba that went through like scientific experiments.
Yeah, like he's seen some shit. All right, Trampolin Stew. He's a strong contender. So far, again, for those of you keeping score at home, Fear, and the what seems to be the physical embodiment of Fear, Trampolin Stew. Kyle, tell us what Wendy O'Koopa feels would be a solid face for this, what has turned into a propaganda machine.
Todd, I've already said it. Koopa Kingdom's strongest asset is its citizens. Wendy Koopa isn't going to give up on the Koopa Troopas. She's going to retrain them and get them back out there with in a ready to face the modern world. She's going to teach them more skills than just walking left and falling to their death.
She's going to get them unpaid internships.
No, she's going to get them real jobs in energy and infrastructure, Matt. We're gonna put them to work rebuilding Koopa Kingdom. I just can't believe you guys are so willing to cast aside the people of your kingdom. That's Wendy's answer, Todd. We're gonna double down and reinvest in our people.
You've all given me a lot to think about, and I know you all have a lot to say about one another, because I sure should have a lot to say about you. I'm going to just kind of reflect for a second and let you just go, because there's a lot happening here.
I don't even really know where to go from here, if we're being completely honest. Because, I gotta be real here. I don't know if my leg to stand on is that much stronger than Roy and Wendy's. I think the best part about my argument is that at least people know who the fuck Bowser Jr. is.
Okay, so I would like to clarify a couple points. All of the other Koopas have been in the other games, just not in the one game that you've played.
Right. You know what? Fuck you. That's not true. I'll pull up the Mario Wiki right now and we'll compare game lists.
Super Mario Brothers Wii U, motherfucker. They're all there.
Yeah,
They're
in Super Mario
there.
Brothers Wii U, you know what they're not in?
Yeah.
Super Mario Maker. You know what they're not
And in 3D.
Double Dash. You know what they're not
And
in?
in 3D.
Super Smash Brothers.
They're in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8, the one that no one liked and they had to re-release for a better console.
The one that sold
The one that came out twice?
10
The one
million
that was so
copies.
good
Double Dash
they made money out of it?
outsold Super Mario Brothers.
All right, clackety, clackety, clack. We're fact checking your ass on this one.
I want to point out your clown car has been driven by every single one of the Koopas now, and is not a basis for leadership.
Yeah, but it's better when Bowser Jr. drives it.
He's got that sweet ascot, though. That's his driving ascot.
Also, the clown car is on loan. I think that was a birthday present for his 5th birthday, because the clown car, I'm going to push up my glasses now.
Shut
They
up.
originally appeared in Super Mario World, driven by Bowser.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I hate myself too. Look, I mean, all y'all, it was good arguments, but let's face facts. The Koopas don't rule Mushroom Kingdom; they rule the Koopas. So, how are the Koopas going to get more power? They're going to need to lean into it. They're going to need to show that they're stronger, and they're going to need to. They might need to walk over a couple dead bodies to get there, but at the end of the day,
It's been 30 years. Can
It's
we
a
double
means to
down
an end.
anymore?
I think we can. I think
many
we
many
start-
attempts. Give up the ship. Let's work on ourselves, guys.
I think we can make a couple improvements. We can take out the green Koopas. All Koopas must be red. All Koopas must turn around. I think that's an easy change to make.
Wow.
Doesn't cost a lot.
So now we've added racism to Roy's campaign.
To let Andrew suck on his own foot for a little while it's in his mouth. I need to sit on my own dick this time because Mario Kart Double Dash was the second worst selling Mario Kart of the entire
No,
series.
wait, stop the podcast.
That's actually really
I
surprising.
refuse to accept that Mario Kart Double Dash wasn't the best-selling Mario Kart. That is headcanon, and no one can tell me different because that was the most fun Mario Kart. We'll start that podcast right now. Okay, debate it. I'm taking Double Dash. You all can take fuck all whatever one.
I'm telling you, no, Mario Kart Double Dash, by far the best Mario Kart. I'm
Yeah.
with you in that headcanon.
Oh, it's really good, but that makes sense why it doesn't sell because nobody had a GameCube.
Yeah, but
That makes
it
sense.
sold 6.88 million copies. The only one that sold less was the Game Boy Advanced Mario Kart Super Circuit. Actually, we were all wrong.
That one was hot garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Mario Kart Wii coming in strong with 37 million copies.
Yeah, that's
Was it like
but
a launch title?
I mean,
No,
it was because the wheel came out. Everyone was.
It was the wheel.
Yeah.
My
It was
mom
the-
bought it. Like
Yeah.
everyone had it. Yeah.
We're okay. We can. That is another episode which no one likes the answer to. Well, so let's we've got this kind of bundled up. So I want to hear. I've got some decisions to make, and you've given me a lot of things to think about. So let's hear some closing statements. So sell me one more time on your Koopaling, your Koopa Kid. Why? Why should the crown hang heavy on your Koopa's head? Andrew.
Listen, power is everything in the Koopa Monarchy. This is a civilization that doesn't solve problems by love and feel-good vibes. This is not Leslie Knope. Leslie Knope is Princess Peach. This is a civilization that solves their problem by punching. And no one is better at punching than Roy Koopa is. Motherfucker's got a bazooka. All right, I'd say let's take this tower to the stars. Roy's going to, and I'm going to quote, I got one more quote here to use. Quoting Paper Mario Color Splash, Roy Koopa is going to buy all you jerks a one-way ticket to Painesville.
Jesus.
Not and to clarify, not the city in northern Ohio. They're not just like going to Painesville. That would be lame. The defense rests.
Matt, let's hear what. Yeah. What do you got for Bowser Jr.?
All right, Bowser Jr. So let me hit you with some fast facts here. Bowser Jr. He's been in the Olympics 4 times. That shit's important. Bowser Jr. has the clown car. Other people may have driven it, but he has it. It's his. In all the games, it's his. Bowser Jr. can become Shadow Mario, and you can't deny me that that's really cool. And most importantly, Bowser Jr. has a dope-ass ascot. I rest my case.
Those are all valid points.
Also, is actually the son of Bowser actually the descendant of the throne?
We
deserves
don't
the
know that to be
throne
true.
in
There's
the-
never been a DNA
It's
test.
canon.
Who's his mom?
I want to see the papers.
Yeah.
I want a DNA test.
Because I don't want this horrifying reality of like Bowser having a brood.
I want to see. I want
Like
to
a
see the
bunch of
birth
idiots.
You want to see
certificate.
a birth certificate, Kyle? Is that what you're going to say?
I did say
You
it.
want to see a long form birth certificate, Kyle? Is that what you're going to say? Because he was born on Delfino Plaza, an island that's not on the mainland, Kyle?
Can we? I would like to hold. I want to quote the Mario wiki here. His actual mother has not been revealed, although Shigeru Miyamoto once jokingly claimed that he was the mother of Bowser Jr. So there it is. That's the most that
Wait.
we have. He's Shigeru Miyamoto's
what?
kid.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh.
So
Well,
he had the eggs.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
in a
They
same
were,
turtle.
they were
like
born
birth.
out of his chest like an alien from
Sweet.
Alien.
Definitely.
Well, there you go. Which is why
okay,
which is
so-
why he communicates in English. Makes sense.
So last but certainly not least, what your closing statement from you, Kyle, Mike O'Malley Harper?
I don't even know why I need to argue. We've got a fear-mongering war hawk in Roy. We've got a continuation of the monarchy that has failed us for 30 years in Bowser Jr. Let's topple the patriarchy, guys. Put a woman in charge. Wendy O. Koopa. for leader of Koopa Kingdom. It's her turn.
All right, so I'm going to take a second to think about all these things, these passionate closing statements. Why don't you all take a quick second to say some nice things about one another here?
No.
I refuse.
Yeah, Roy Koopa is sweet looking. He wields that giant bullet bill bazooka and wears those glasses like no one else. And Matt, you're not wrong. Bowser Jr. does have a dope ass ascot.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. Wendy's pretty cool. She's like constantly ready to go to like ladies' 80s. I'm into that.
Yeah.
She's got like the cool bangles and stuff.
Yep.
I'm into that. That's cool. I was looking through quotes. I was trying to disprove you earlier, Kyle, and it's pretty rock solid. She's had a pretty consistent character. I was thinking like they had to at one point made her like a weird sex symbol.
No.
But they never did that. They went like they steered into like the weird like how about a kiss kind of shit. But that was Mario's missing, and I don't count that in the real world.
No one
That's
counts
the crown
that.
jewel of the Mario franchise.
It sure is. And then Bowser Jr. He does have an okay ascot. I've always read that as a bib, as like a child's mule bib.
I mean, it looks more like a bandana.
Yeah,
I think it's a bandana to me.
The Mario Wiki calls it a bandana.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We'll call it Space Spade. I love that cart. I love Bowser Jr. is one of my favorites in Smash Brothers. I love that cart, and I love. One thing you didn't say, which I think is probably relevant. He's like the inventor, like his new personality. He's like the tinkerer. He's less. I'd call him less Eggman and more like Dr. Wily. Like he's always making weird robots and shit.
Yeah. He's got the little like Bowser bombs that walk in Super Smash Bros.
That's how they're defining him now.
I mean, he was like Super Mario Sunshine was like the freshest take on Mario to that point. Like,
Oh yeah.
like Bowser Jr. was such a ray of sunshine coming out in Super Mario Sunshine.
No pun intended.
Oh wow. I really didn't
no,
mean to
please.
do that.
Oh,
Please,
where
no.
are we Rule 34ing right now? I don't want that.
Well,
Oh, I'm uncomfortable.
Andrew said something about making Windio Koopa a sex symbol. I had to know.
I wondered why
they
you were
did.
making all those faces.
Yeah. It exists.
Forever unclean.
That's burnt into my mind's eye. Like that's there forever now.
Did any of you guys in your research look at why they're named the way they are?
Yeah, they're all named after like musicians, except
Yeah,
Bowser Jr.
it's all American. That's all the American translation. Like they're not named that way in Japan.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know
pretty
that.
neat.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's neat. They
The more you know.
it's like because and now it's just canon. It was like back in the days when the American translation was like a team of 3 people, and they wrote those instruction manuals. They're like, I don't know what the fuck,
And they didn't
just
didn't consult the Japanese team at all.
Yeah.
like whatever.
I guess I.
Well, so
wait,
so,
hold on.
hang
I didn't say anything
think-
nice yet. I gotta say nice things about
never
people.
mind. Well, I thought we tapped out on
Let
nice
me
things
say
to say about
something
those
nice.
other people.
No, I like how sassy Wendy is in every picture that isn't a Rule 34 picture. She's really sassy, and I kind of like that.
Thank you for clarifying
You're
that.
welcome. I really like that Roy Koopa is always just kind of like bent over and hunched over. Like they intentionally tried to make him look dumb but strong.
Yeah,
And-
he's such a schmuck.
I know. I just kind of really like
love it.
I kind of like it about him.
Yeah.
I like both of them. They both look really cool. I dig that a lot.
I think generally they're fun designs.
I was really happy to see all of them in Super Smash Bros. By the way,
Yeah.
Or not Super Smash Bros. Super in Mario Kart 8 because
And Smash
They-
Bros. They're both.
not. Oh yeah, they are. They're
Yeah,
the
that was
alternate skins.
how they revealed that you could have 8 players in one game at Smash Brothers. They revealed Baby Bowser and then all
That's
the other
right.
7, or Bowser Jr.
And like, just what a great throwback that was to throw in both those games.
Well, so I've been listening to this for a while, and I've got my own thoughts. So I'll kind of give you my thoughts on your arguments before I announce my winner. So we'll just go right through the list the way we've done the whole podcast. So let's start with Roy Koopa. It's a bold take. Dare I say a hot take on what you do. I mean, raining destruction down from an endless tower surrounded by lava that scrapes the sky. Like, you know what? I was gonna say it's not conventional, but it is exactly conventional of what Bowser's been doing for the past couple of decades.
And it's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah, no, it's real metal. Real metal. Can't argue with that. I think the concept, I think your quote was, buy all of you a ticket to Painesville. That's a slogan I think we can all get behind. So, there's a little bit of that inside of all of us. As far as Bowser Jr. goes, I do like the concept that truly you are only limited by your imagination. I mean, he's got that paintbrush. He kind of showed up to the scene a little late, and people were like, "Oh, who the hell is this?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm here. I'm cool." And everyone's like, "Yeah, I guess he's always kind of been here. Sure, that's fine." And he can really do whatever he wants to, and I dig it. I think to not respect the diplomacy that Wendy Koopa could bring to the kingdom would be a short-sighted approach. I like thinking that it's canon that she is level-headed and she's ready to chart a new course and set a new destiny. For the reasons that I have said and more, I've got one clear winner. There's only one way the kingdom can go to get better than it has ever been, and that is under the guidance of Roy Koopa. Roy Koopa is the one. That's the only logical decision. And so I'll tell you why. I think about the greatest leaders that I've ever seen, and Roy Koopa directly embodies one of my favorite Dwight Schrute quotes. About, in the Schrute family, we believe in 5-fingered intervention: awareness, education, control, acceptance, and punching. And I think that Roy Koopa is ready for that. Now here's the best thing. So Roy Koopa, you're now in control. This is your kingdom. Awesome. I've got your first task, and I need you to answer it for me. So here's the deal, Roy. See, your brother Iggy Koopa, he's had numerous HR complaints against him. Specifically, some pretty racially charged comments against the angry son in accounting. So I've set up a meeting between you, Iggy, and the Bullet Bill from HR. So I need you to tell me how we let him go from the family business. Can you just walk me through what that looks like?
Well, I feel like this is probably going to be a pretty tenuous conversation, but I do feel like it's going to culminate in punching the fuck out of that nerd.
he is a nerd. Can we for a second talk about the angry son in accounting? That there's just an angry scowling son hovering around in accounting.
I didn't catch it at first. You meant S-U-N.
Angry son. He's the one that So punching again. It's solid. So this has been the Debate This podcast. Follow along with the argument on Twitter @DebateThisCast and let us know what you think. I'm Todd Thomas.
I'm Andrew. Bring in the Dancing Lobsters Henderson.
I'm Matt Silver Snakes Cole.
And I'm Kyle Mike O'Malley Harper.
Saying thanks for debating with us. And if you disagree with our arguments and decisions, then we're challenging you to come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.